Good afternoon, friends. Today we will be entering into the world of cyber forensics. Cyber forensics, which is often said as the real science in the security field. Cyber forensics basically deal with the study of cyber crimes happening day to day. Before starting or entering into this world of cyber forensics, let me show you the contents I'll be discussing today. These would be the contents we will be taking today. So start with, let me show you this very interesting thing. This is simple file, a txt file, and I have just opened its properties. This, if you carefully look at the size of this file, it is just 350 bytes. But looking at to the size on the disk, it is 4 KB. That is just around 10 times of the actual size of this file. Now, what may be the reason of this thing? If this small file is costing around 10 times more the actual size, then what happened to the large file like 1 GB, 2 GB? So all these hidden things are the things which come under forensics. So we will get the answer of this in the later part of the series. Let's start this series. So what is computer forensics? Basically, computer forensics involves the preservation, identification, extraction, documentation, and interpretation of computer media for evidentiary or root cause analysis. Now, what actually, in practical terms, computer forensics involves? Suppose there is a crime scene happened and somebody has stolen the source code of a particular website. Now, preserving that evidences which we collected, identification, extraction, and documentation of those evidences, and then interpretation to show them that these are the evidences, this particular information has been deleted, altered. These are the things or various stages which we encounter in computer forensics. Moving on further, there are various cycles or steps in digital forensics. First of all, involves identification of the case, whether the case is of source code theft, whether a data is stolen, a data is altered. So first of all, we need to identify which type of case are we investigating on. Secondly, we need to preserve all the documents. We need to secure all the data and evidences at the crime site. Third, we need to collect all the images of storage devices and recover all the deleted data from the computer. Next step we need to do is analyze those particularly recovered data and to find out what could be the possible important evidences collected from those particular device. Now the final thing which comes is report or documentation of all the things which we have done from the starting and to the end. This would further help in the study of case and oftenly is told as case study. Moving further, there are three important A's in the investigating part. First, acquire, authenticate, and analyze. First of all, whenever you acquire the evidence, we did not allow it to alter or should not allow to damage the original evidence. This is sometimes often known as data integrity. Then we need to authenticate the image, whether the image or the backup we have created of the original image is as it is or has been altered. Then we need to analyze the data without modifying it. I repeat, without modifying it. Without modifying, why? Because in case we have modified any part of the data, the whole image would get deleted or would get affected by that. As we all know, the data integrity is an important part of cyber forensics. Moving on further, there are, as we know, there are two types of information: volatile information and non-volatile information. Open files, logged on users, active processes, network information. These are some informations which comes under volatile informations. Whereas non-volatile information includes the files or the processes which would remain the same after the system is rebooted. So during the time of investigation, if practically we are present at the crime site, then first of all we need to analyze whether the system, the affected system, the victim system is in on state or off state. In case it's in on state, we need to collect all the volatile information, and in case it's non-volatile or in switched off state, we could collect those information like system files, registry settings, configurational settings after the backup is done. Moving on further, the computer forensics requirements are hardware. We need to be familiar with the internal and external devices of a computer. Also, we need to be familiar with the memory and storage parts and the motherboards and various chipsets. Then we need to be familiar with the BIOS, how the BIOS works, what are the limitations of BIOS. Then we need to learn about operating systems like Windows, DOS, Unix, Linux. Then the various softwares which you encounter during forensics. Also the forensic tools like SANS operating system and various networks and device forensic tools. Now these could be the data which could be found on a computer like in files, in log files, in browser's history, Windows prefect area, slack space. These three are the data which would be lost if the machine is powered off. So we need to collect it first. Then the open network connection, virtual memory, physical memory lost. These would be lost if we wait too long. And the network traces, these are the real time only. It is when we are on, these would remain. Moving on further, as we know, there are various new forms of devices manufactured day to day. So we need to be aware of various new designs of the storage devices, so that at the time of investigation we could collect all the possible storage devices. So here are some pictures of the storage devices which would help us to identify during the crime scene. Then these are some tools, basic browser forensic tools like any type of browser we are running on like Chrome, Internet Explorer or Mozilla. These could help us in invaluable concepts. Then we have data recovery software like Disk Digger, FDRS, data recovery. Then password recovery softwares like network password recovery, mail pass view, encryption analyzer. These are the various types of software which we could use daily. Now coming on inbuilt forensics. Now what inbuilt forensics refers to? Basically inbuilt forensics refers to the internal task manager which provides us with various information of our computer system. Like this is the basic scene or snap of a task manager of running, which is showing all the performances, services, processes, application running at the present time. So whenever we are into the crime scene, we first need to analyze or record the task manager, that what were the various processes running at the time of the incident happening. So this could be the inbuilt forensic first way to start with. Then these are some default, or we could say generalized file extension or hex signatures which we use to study the various files. If you look at carefully, the JPG file has the file SKS signature JFFIF. This would help us in the practical we will take further. Now this practical involves the basic use of WinHex. WinHex is basically a hexadecimal or hex editor which we used in cyber forensics to analyze the files and to investigate what could be the file contains or what are evidences containing. WinHex was also used to clone the disk, is also used to create bit by bit streaming of our disk, hard disk, our storage devices, and to analyze whether the data is modified or not. So let us look at the practical aspect of this cyber forensics. Now for this, what we have to do is, first, if you see clearly, I got an image. This is a simple JPG image, and I've created a text file which contains a secret message, hello, the bomb will explode on this and contact number has been given. Now what the basic thing I need to do is, I need to open a command prompt. I run a command prompt as an administrator, of course. going to the location of the file. Now just I'm typing it, copy slash b my image file, image.jpg, the file extension. Then I'm inbuilting it my secret file, secret.txt, and I'm saving it again as the image.jpg file. Now if you see, it is saying image.jpg, secret.txt, one file is copied. Now the file is copied, it means the file, the image file must contain the secret.txt file, but when we open it, we can't see whether a file is there or not. So in that case, we need to use WinHex. Now how we will use it? This is a WinHex software I am having. Okay. Now what I need to do is, I am just opening that image file here. This is the image file I am having. I am just opening it. If you can see it clearly, this is JPG file. The header remains the same of JPG file. Now coming to the footer part of this file, oh my god, this is the thing which I'm seeing. See, hello, the bomb will explode on this and the contact number. So my secret file has been embedded in this image file, and using this forensic tool WinHex, we have analyzed whether the file is actually hidden or it's a raw file. So I hope you have got a better knowledge of cyber forensic world. There are more to come. There are various other tools which we use encounter in this cyber forensics. There are various different cases. So I hope you have got better knowledge about this. Thank you.